YouTube. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy back here with another deck profile for the month of March 2022. And this time we still rocking Trap Eldlich. So this is a different content than you normally see on this channel, but I wanted to do a Yu-Gi-Oh video. So I'm just gonna hop right into it so I can show you the deck list. First things first, we're just gonna go with the engine. So for the engine, we have 2 Golden Lords, the starters, 3 Sanguines, 1 Black Awakening, and his partners in crime, 3 Conquistadors, and 2 Vaqueros. So let's explain. 2 Golden Lords, I think, is standard in Trap Eldlich. 1 is not enough because once you get hit with DD Crow, you just lose. And then 3 is just too many because you don't want to brick. So I think 2 is the perfect number. 2 helps you play around the DD Crow, the Ice Dragon Prison, whatever banishes Golden Lord. Good Eldlich players always use 1 Golden Lord until it's no more. And then you summon the second one and you keep playing. I'm just saying. And the starters, you have the Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine, and you have Black Awakening. So basically, what this trap card does is basically you special summon a zombie monster from the deck or grave, and the spell card summons the Golden Lord, or I should say a zombie monster, from the hand or deck, but in defense position. When you use these elixirs, they lock you into only zombies. And then the second part of the effect is you could banish them to search your Golden Land traps. And the thing you have to keep in mind is you get 1 effect per turn and only that turn. So for example, if you use this to summon Golden Lord or a zombie monster, you can't use the banish effect to set a Golden Land in the same turn. You have to use them in different turns. So Conquistador, this is basically a non-targeting Trident pop on the field that's face up. So you pop a card on the field, but you have to control Eldlich the Golden Lord to get that ability, and it's non-targeting. So this is pretty nice. And then you have the 2 Vaqueros. It's basically a non-targeting DD Crow from either player's graveyard. And keep in mind the stats are light zombies, level 5. He's 1800, 1500, and this is 500, 1800 attack and defense respectively. So I think this is the perfect ratio. You don't need no more, you don't need no less. The hands can get a little awkward when you draw too many of these Golden Land trap cards, because you want to draw a healthy amount of Golden Lands with the Scarlet and like your main trap cards of the deck. So this is basically the engine that we play. We don't play the Curse Eldland. I don't think it's mandatory for this format. I feel like you can get away without running it. It's kind of bad going second, into established boards. So, even like Golden Lord going second is actually pretty insane sometimes, But, I feel like it's player preference. By the way, forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video, but this whole build is inspired by Triv Gaming. Just want to throw that out there. So shout outs to that man. He's pretty awesome. So that's it for the Eldlich cards. Now, this is what I like to call the consistency cards of the deck. 3 Extravagance, 2 Heavenlies. So like the Extravagance is part of great draw 2. I mean, like as enough said, like this in a trap deck, advantage is important. Now the Heavenlies, I put this as a consistency card because with his effect, while it's revealed and I activate a trap card, or it could be my opponent can activate a sub trap card, I get to summon this and I get to set any spell or trap card from my deck. This basically turns into this, and this can turn into any of my trap cards that's in a deck. Yes, it can even search continuous trap cards. Lord have mercy. When this card came out in Burst of Destiny, this was like a game changer for the format. And not only that, this is another way of protecting your back row from spell and trap removal. The only way around it is like pretty much evenly matched, right? And Cosmic Cyclones, which are relevant in the format as we speak. But this card is really good in this deck. And we only play 2 because I tried 3. I don't want to brick on it. And 1 is not enough because, like I said, you need all the spells and trap protection as possible. So I think 2 is the perfect number. And fun fact, these 2, they're level 10s. And we'll get into that later of why that's relevant, and you'll see in an extra deck. But these are like, I'll count as my consistency cards. Really love them. So now we're gonna get into the favorite part of the deck: trap cards. 3 punishments, 3 torrential tributes, and we have 2 dimensional barriers. We have 2 ice dragon prisons, and to round off the normal traps, 2 trap tricks. So Dogmatic Punishment, I mean, it's pretty solid. It's a removal card, and it combines well with the cards that's in my extra deck. So it's good spot removal, torrential tribute. I mean, it's mass removal. It makes sense to clear boards. And it's also good going second because I main deck the Solemn Strikes. So Solemn Strike Torrential is like pretty busted. Dimensional Barrier main decked. Like I said, this list is inspired by Triv, so I'm not going to take credit for this. I've tested Dimensional Barrier main decked because of how the format is, PKs, Sword Souls, like it used to be Bird Up last format, I think this card is still really good. Even like a deck like against Dogmatica Invoked with the DPE, this is really good against DPE and fusion decks, right? So I think main decking at 2 is fine. I think the 2 ratios is pretty good. Even like the Ice Dragon Prisons. This and the mirror match of Eldlich is insane. Like I said earlier, not many people play around DD Crow and like banishing. So they'll like some Eldlich players, not all, but like a little bit of them, they'll have 2 Golden Lords in rotation. But that's very dangerous in the mirror because this exists. Ice Dragon Prison. So a good pro tip is to always use your 1 Lord in rotation. The only time you go for the 2nd Lord, Golden Lord, Eldlich, is if you're going for game. That's the only way I think you should play. But that's just my opinion. And then to round off the normal traps, like I said, Trap Trick. I feel like this is like a rota. This basically banish a trap card to the same trap card, and then after that you're allowed to activate 1 trap card during that whole turn. So these is basically more copies of all of this. Simple as that. So now, the floodgates. Oh boy. How do I start this? Alright, let's just start with Goes in Match. Goes in Match, I think, is good right now in this format because it's good against the Brave stuff that's running around. It's pretty decent in all the other matchups. Depending on what matchup, like if it's like Dog Invoked, I'll like usually side it out. Bad in the Mirror. I feel like it's just good like against Sword Soul. It's not as good against PK, not really, but like definitely Sword Soul's Brave. Hits a fair amount of decks, and like you could catch some decks off guard. Like I would side this out against Dogmatica Invoked, but like the only way I see this useful in that matchup is like if they summon Alistair, search Invocation, then you flip Goes, and now they can't go into Almirage or whatever the other links are. But like other than that, I'll just set it out in that matchup. But this is pretty good. Floodgate. And here's the controversial one in the Eldlich deck. Tikaboo, aka there can be only 1. So here's the theory. I'm going to explain this quickly because a lot of people think this card is bad in Eldlich. I used to think so too, until somebody, I forgot who it was, in OCG they was playing this in the main deck. Like it shuts off a lot of decks, like mono type decks, Sword Soul, Dragon Link, it could be Drytrons, like I don't like Dino, like there's a lot of mono type decks. One like even like Earth Trains. Sorry, team captain. But yeah, so let me explain to the logic behind this. So usually the combo would be you have this in defense mode, and then you try to activate your golden lands, right? But you can't do that because you have this on the field. So the trick is you use your golden lands first, and you save your floodgate for last. And when you save your floodgate for last, you activate this and you send this to the graveyard. So now you only control a golden land. So here's the trick. So if you want to summon Lord, you can. You want to know how? You send this for cost, right? This goes to your hand, and then it has the word thin in the card text, and then you're able to summon it. Thus, you're out in your own Tikaboo. So it's really not that hard, but I really think it's worth main decking, especially in this format. So the last floodgate, the best floodgate, arguably, in my opinion, that just came off the ban list to 3, Skill Drain. Like, come on, like when this card came off the ban list, I thought about DPE, and I'm just like, okay, we have more outs to that card, and we're not as scared of it as before. But this shuts down a lot of decks as well, because like we are trap deck. We don't really rely on FX too much, and like we don't need our extra decks that much either. So like skill drain, Lord Beatdown is like Oonga Boonga. It's like it's insane. So that's the deck list. That's the main deck. That should be 40 cards. So the extra deck, I'm gonna kind of breeze through this. The Constella Pallades. Just in case you go Wakero and Conquistador, they're both level 5s. So you go rank into the Pallades, which is pretty solid. It's basically like a Compulsory. You target a card on the field, return it to the hand. So it's pretty nice. And then remember I told you about the level 10s? This is it, guys. I don't go into library that much. I rarely go into it, but I just keep it there just in case, because you just never know. In case you can't go for game with the 2 lords into the Gustav Max to detach, and you can at least slap this and just brrr. So yeah, that's there. But I have this at 2 because like I don't like this is something that I personally made a change to, because having one of this and I extravagance it away, I feel like this is a win con. It's not like just for time purposes, but it's basically to ensure that I can kill my opponent if I can't end the game. And I feel like I want 2 of this in case one gets banished off of extravagance. So I think 2 is perfect in my opinion. This is a good ratio. And then what's an exceed? Without Zeus. Zeus has to be in here. And then the Link monsters. We got Link Spider, Lina, Fairjeet, Unicorn. This can actually be a second Link Spider. This is just kind of a placeholder, but again, the extra deck, we don't really need too much. Is more utility. BLS, we don't go into it as much, but if we can, I know it's a win-more card, but like I said, the extra deck is pretty free. The Lina, I feel like a staple. Like it's really synergizes well. The Link Spider synergizes as well too, because your Golden Land traps are normal monsters, so you just link it to Link Spider. And Fairjeet, I prefer Fairjeet here because I think it's good utility, and it beats Maximus combo. And speaking of Maximus combo, we play more for that, and we play punishment. So these are our punishment targets. They're pretty nice. Pops a card, get a shuffle a card back from the grave. This shuffles a card when my card on the field is destroyed by battle card effect by my opponent. So like these are all pretty solid. And that's pretty much the extra deck. So for the side deck, I think these are staples. Mandatory, Sphere Mode, and Lava Golems. This is how you beat combo. Going second is mandatory, no questions. Outside the third Heavenly Prison, because games 2 and 3, we're more susceptible to back row hate. So I have an extra of this is pretty good, along with the 3 Solemn Strikes. Kind of sad that Imperial Order is banned, but it's okay. We can still play the game. We can still play. And then for the mirror and like other back row heavy decks, we got Evenly Matched and Heavy Storm Duster. And Evenly Matched plays around the Heavily Prisons, you know, so it's cool. And the Heavy Storm Duster, like I said, is for back row decks, and it complements well with the Trap Tricks that's in the main deck. So this is my deck profile for the month of March 2022. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my new YouTube channel that I made this past Saturday. I'm excited and I can't wait for new adventures. I am a part of Team Lionheart of bemanilounge. I'm going to leave that in the description below in this video, so you can check out the Facebook page, our YouTube, and how you can be a sponsored player. So thank you for listening to this deck profile. I'm going to keep working on me providing more videos of deck profile and Yu-Gi-Oh content. You know, if this gets enough likes, views, we'll see what happens. But until next time, your boy James is signing off. Deuces.